We're back on this beautiful Tuesday. A lot of good things happened to me. Honestly, I went to work with this intention, and I was like, there's certain things I needed to get done that I kept putting off. Like big projects, right? Not that I put off or that, that I got in trouble for, but that I could have been more proactive on or whatever. And I was like, I'm going to go into work, I'm going to do this, and hit this. And then I get in there, and I forgot that I had to do this 3-hour kind of professional development course. It actually was pretty sick. But, so yeah, that kind of cut out most of the day. And I only had half the day left, and I was like, and I was feeling really overwhelmed and stuff like that. And at lunch, I went out to we have a huge courtyard at my work that kind of overlooks there's just like a balcony, right? And I went out there, and I was trying to reground. I was like, but then I just like started expressing gratitude. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I was super like, overwhelmed and stressed and anxious, and I was like, I can't, perform, but I was like, no, I can. And I started expressing gratitude, right? And I was like, thank you so much for this and that, and and it's like, I was thinking about money a lot, and I was like, in this day and age, there's a lot of get rich quick schemes. There's a lot of side hustle culture. There's a lot of this. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of like TikToks where it's like, oh my God, there's so much money you could be making on TikTok. Buy my course, whatever it is, or here's this free, download my free link, or you could be doing this, or if you're a 20-year-old male and you're not on TikTok, what are you doing? Like all this type of stuff. And I thought to myself, like, all of that is rooted in like shame, and it's rooted in FOMO, and it's rooted in scarcity. It's like, oh my God, TikTok won't always be here, clearly because it was taken away. But it's like, here's some scarcity. Oh, you can make all this money right now. It's like they're in the business of selling hope. They're in the business of preying on people's like, desperation and people like feeling like they lack something or that they need this money. Because it's real simple. I mean, you go on the internet and you see people your age doing the craziest stuff. And then those people that are doing the craziest stuff, they're like, I got here because of this. And then they put it in their course, and the course has nothing to do with what they do. And a lot of times they even lied about their initial life to post on social media. And now you're buying a course to then actually sustain their life and to, pay for their lifestyle. And it's kind of, and I thought to myself, man, I got caught up in all that, right? I got so caught up in that. And then also other things, it's like, make a TikTok now, and there's no reason you should be monetizing and posting yourself on TikTok. And it's like, capitalism has seeped in to creativity in such a gross way, where it's like, don't post on TikTok because you really enjoy it and you love talking and you like to be creative and you want to make these videos or you want to like relate to people and build a community. It's like, no, you gotta post on TikTok to make money. It's be creative for the sake of money. And it's like, holy cow, man, it's rotten to the core. Like, and I'm not shaming people that dude, get your bag, right? But my thing is like, yes, I can go out of my way and do this thing I really don't want to do in the pursuit of like, oh, now I'm going to have all this money, right? Then later on when I have this money, then I can go figure myself out later. But at first I need to get the money. But for me, it's more like, I'm content with myself and I love myself, and I try to work on me first, and everything else will feel easy, right? I'm a person that like opportunities just come my way, and that like financial freedom and opportunities for money kind of just come my way. Like, I'm attracting these things. I'm not going out of my way and being like, I need to put my head down for 6 months and really grind this thing so I can have this money. But because at that point it's like, okay, I have all this money and I can help all these people, but I still feel terrible about myself. So my way of doing it is like, dude, I like creating just for the sake of creating. I like to draw. I don't share a lot of my drawings. I don't share my photography a lot of times. Like, it's just for me because it's fun. And I share this, but in some way I really don't. I don't advertise it. It's if people are watching and it finds the right people, that's beautiful. But it's not for anyone. It's for me. It's and because of that, I do not fear like success or fear money or whatever it is. I don't have a scarcity mindset for these things. It's like, there's an abundance of all these resources, and I'm a person that attracts that abundance. Things just kind of come my way. And so that was something I was really thinking about, and I I'm sitting there in this courtyard thinking about all these things, and just telling myself like, no, like, man, I did a lot of hard work, and I've gotten to a point where things just come effort. Like, I don't need to put in effort, and that's not to say that I don't grind or that it's not meticulous, but it's like more so my grind is it's not like I need to do this thing to feel better. It's like I feel so wonderful that like anything that I do that's aligned with me, yeah, I could put my head down and literally do for like 12 hours. I can sit here and draw for 12 hours. I can make these videos all day, and it's work, but it doesn't feel like it because it's aligned with me. It's something I like to do. So I was thinking about that, and I was just like really appreciative and having a lot of gratitude for life during this courtyard. And then I was like, oh, this thing that I've been putting off that I really don't want to do. It was like a presentation, right, that I'm putting together that I really didn't want to do, that didn't feel aligned. I was like, dude, I need to do this thing so that I know I can do other things, right? It's about me proving to myself I could do these things to keep on going, right? I'm a person that can get things done, like, and I think for a long time in my life, for years, like, I felt like I had some sort of this responsibility, or like, with great power comes great responsibility. Like, I had this I don't know, innate desire to accomplish large things and to be incredibly successful and to, have all this money to give back to like the people I love, and to have people in my life not care about anything. And this responsibility to go and, bring light to others and bring love to others, and speak in a way that other people can hear. And this whole time, I didn't want that responsibility. I was like, I have this thing, but I'm so scared of it. And I like shied away, and I put myself in a corner, right? And I put myself in a box, and I was like, I can't do this. But now it's like, bring it on. God, I take on full responsibility for everything. Like, I can perform. I know what I'm meant to do, and I'm going to perform. And so I like just sat down, and when I got back to my office, it was like I was so regrounded that I just like knocked out all this stuff that I've been meaning to do for so long, right? And so I was really proud of myself for that. And I feel great. Like, I did so much at work today. I feel wonderful. Productivity feels great. But productivity, it feels great, not like in the way where like I'm gonna be productive to feel better about myself. It's more great. Like, I feel great, and that's why I was so productive, which makes me feel even greater. It's like this like self-sustaining thing. So I thought about that a lot today. I was really happy about that. And then just now on this walk, I was thinking about a couple things. And I'm not a religious guy, but I mean, there's knowledge in all texts, and there's spiritual energy is like kind of embedded in all this stuff, right? And I think about that Bible, the Bible quote, like, "Depart from me, for I never knew you," and it's in like reference to people who don't come to God, and they after they die they come to the pearly gates, and God's like kind of rejects them because He's like, "I never knew you." And I think I need to go back and read the context of this, because this still doesn't make sense to me. Because it's like, if you're God, you know my heart. You've always known my heart. I don't need to come to you because you're omnipresent. Like, I don't need to, and that's not to say I shouldn't come to you, but like to say you never knew me is crazy, because of course you knew me. You've known my heart the whole time, and whether I'm acting in accordance to my heart or not is besides the point. Because under the rubble, there's this childhood, there's this whimsical child, right? There's this child that has all the awe, and that's for every person. Every person has, that little kid in them that just wants to come out. And just because I don't come to God with, for time being, that means you don't know me? I don't know. I'm trying to reconcile that quote or make sense of it, because it doesn't. It's like, if I have I guess it's a hard thing to have an analogy for, but if I have a child, and me and my kid are going through like kind of a tough period, right? And I can see that they're traumatized, and they've been going through a lot in their life, and they're kind of distant from me. I won't say I don't know you. I do know you, and maybe I'm not familiar with the you that is being presented right now. This you that's like, that's like the ultimate mask, the biggest wall, like I don't, maybe I'm not familiar with that person, but I know your heart, and I always know my child's heart because they're my child, right? And I've watched them grow up. I've watched them be a kid, and so I think that quote just doesn't make sense to me. So I think I'm gonna go back into the Bible and kind of read that. And that doesn't mean like I'm gonna go on some sort of like religious tirade. It's just like interesting to me. And the other thing that's interesting to me is Job. Job's interesting to me. I think about that's like one of the only books that I've like read front to back in the Bible, and it was like over a year ago, almost 2 years ago I read it. And what I thought about Job was, you know, at first when I read it I was like, this is so crazy. Like, you're telling me my life is just like some game to the devil and to God, where it's like, you know, Satan comes up to God and is like, yo, I bet I can get this guy to say your name in vain. I can get this guy to not believe in you. And the guy's like, all right, bet, do it. Like really, I'm some bet, I'm some like thing to bet on, something that you're just doing a parlay on. But I realized that like now it's like, no, that's just like, you have to see what part is dramatized. Like obviously God and Satan didn't have this conversation where Satan's like, bro, I bet you $10 I can get him to fold, right? It's more so, and every, there's a person that has it all, and that it gets struck with tragedy and loses it all. And it's like, does that person who gets struck with tragedy, do they remain grounded in gratitude? Do they remain grounded in love, or do they fall into despair? And do they then curse God and be like, God, you're the reason that you were never with me? Do they lose faith in that, or do they stay grounded? And you could see in Job when he finally like lost complete faith, like God pulled up and was like, I can take this all away, right? And I think some people like, God's like, you only have anything because of me. I give you everything. And in a way, that could be viewed as like super narcissistic or egotistical. But another way, it's like, if I have a kid and something bad, something troublesome happens in this kid's life. Now, obviously, to Job, he had like, these illnesses, people died in his life. Like, he had some horrific stuff happening, right? He was really tested. But it's like, I could imagine, like, if I have a kid, like, my child having like hurting their knee may be equivalent to, like, the way I see my child when they hurt their, have a little boo-boo or they fall down, may be the same way that, relative way that God views a human when they go through suffering, right? Goes through, like an adult, they go through, or whoever it is, maybe it's equivalent in their own, And so, moral relativism or something. Like, if I have a kid that has a boo-boo, and then that kid has a little boo-boo, and then they, in turn, say, like, Mom and Dad, you do nothing for me, like, you guys are horrible parents, like, you never were here for me. And then we're like, oh, really? And we, like, take away their stuff, right? And they really, I guess it's really hard to find an analogy for this, but I don't know what I'm trying to say. I think I'm more understanding God's point, and more understanding, like, the point of the book of Job, which is, like, it's not that gratitude is only important in times of hardships. It's just like, in times of hardships and suffering, that is when you need to be the most great, have the most gratitude, and have the most love, and have the most appreciation. It's when things are getting hard, because that's the only thing, showing gratitude and stuff like that in times of suffering is the only thing that can ground you, and can ground you, right? And essentially gratitude is, it's just understanding everything that God is providing for you, and has provided for you, and is continuously providing you, and how He's present in your, in your day-to-day life, all day, every day. And I'm not I'm not like a religious guy. I'm a very spiritual guy, and I'll use God and the universe interchangeably, but there's definitely, something going on. Let me see how much time I have, because I don't want to mess up like last time. Dude, these minutes are going by so fast. I only have 15 minutes. And remember when I told you guys on my very first video that there was 2 things that I needed to overcome? Discomfort is the North Star, and there was 2 discomforts. And these videos are me, confronting that, walking towards the discomfort of the second reason, which is just like being uncomfortable being seen. And the first one was like, I'm not gonna tell you guys about. Maybe later on in life I'll tell you guys about it. But let's just say, I've been conquering it. I've been walking towards it. I've been walking towards that discomfort these last 2 days. These last 2 days making these videos, or maybe 3 days making these videos. Also, if you guys are worried about Willow, my girlfriend took her to the vet. Yeah, did I say it yesterday in the video? I don't know. Yeah, she just had hookworms and stuff like that. They did an X-ray. She had no foreign bodies, and so she's just. Oh, it started tearing up. Like, man, seeing your daughter like sick. But she's doing okay now. She rested all yesterday. She hasn't really dry heaved. I fed her a little bit yesterday of like some healthy food and with her medicine. Dude, getting the medicine is so hard to give her because it's like I have to take a vial, and the vial or the syringe only can do 12 milliliters max, and I need 13, so you have to do 12. But it's like this like white liquid that's not viscous at all. It's like watery, and she, it probably tastes terrible. And she's like drooling it. It's like dripping everywhere, and then I have to give her after the whole 12. I gotta give her an extra one because it's 13. But she's doing okay. She's doing amazing. Life's beautiful, man. Life is beautiful. Life could be sweet. Oh, doom, doom, doom. Life could be doom. I don't know the lyrics. Other than that, it's a beautiful Tuesday. I'll see you guys on a beautiful Wednesday. And yeah. Girls, guys, gays, queers, they, thems, non-binary, anyone. I'll see y'all around. And yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow on Wednesday. Bye.